You ever wonder why we get social anxiety? Like, when did talking to people become so scary? Think about it. There was a time when connection was effortless. You'd walk into a classroom, plop down next to someone, and just talk. No scripts, no rehearsals. You'd crack jokes at work, make weekend plans, meet friends at coffee shops without your heart doing backflips in your chest. But something shifted. Now, being alone feels easier, safer, comfortable. Evening. You sit in your room, scroll through your phone, listen to music that understands you better than people do, eat alone with your favorite show playing in the background, and somewhere along the way, you start to think, hey, I actually like this. And that's the thing. That's not a lie you're telling yourself. There is a sweetness in being alone. Let's be honest about something we rarely admit. Solitude is intoxicating. When you are alone, there's no small talk about the weather, no forced laughter at jokes that aren't funny, no exhausting dance of reading between the lines, wondering if they actually meant what they said, or if you said the wrong thing, or if that silence was awkward or just. And silence. In solitude, you are the architect of your entire experience. You control the input. You control the output. You curate your feed, your playlist, your mood. If something makes you uncomfortable, you swipe it away. If someone annoys you, you close the tab. You create a perfectly controlled ecosystem where nothing unexpected can hurt you. And for a while, maybe a long while, this feels like freedom. You are not performing for anyone. You don't have to maintain eye contact or modulate your tone or remember to smile at the right moments. You can just be. Formless, unobserved, unjudged. This is the gift of modern solitude. It's not just about being physically alone anymore. It's about having an entire universe of content, connection, and stimulation available without ever having to risk yourself in the presence of another person. You can watch someone's life on a screen. You can laugh at their jokes. You can feel like you know them, and they never have to know you exist. No vulnerability, no rejection, no risk. It's beautiful in a way. But here's where the story gets complicated. Because here's the catch. The part nobody warns you about. The more you stay alone, the harder it gets to not be alone. It's not immediate. It's subtle, gradual. Like a muscle you stop using. At first, you are just taking a break from social situations. You are recharging. You're being kind to yourself. You are setting boundaries. All good things, right? But then weeks passed. Months. Maybe years. And one day, someone texts you, hey, want to grab coffee? And suddenly, your chest gets tight. Your mind starts racing. What do I even talk about? I haven't done anything interesting. What if I'm boring? What if there's an awkward silence? What if I say something stupid and they think I'm weird? Your brain, which used to navigate social situations on autopilot, now treats every interaction like a high-stakes performance. Because you've stopped practicing. Social skills are exactly like muscles. When you don't use them, they atrophy. You forget how to read a room. You second-guess your tone. You lose the natural rhythm of conversation, that easy back and forth flow where you're not thinking about what to say. You're just saying it. And the cruelest irony, the longer you avoid social situations because they make you anxious, the more anxious they make you. It's a feedback loop that tightens with every canceled plan, every sorry can't make it, every night spent alone telling yourself you're better off this way. You are not just losing the skill, you're building a narrative. I'm not good at this. I'm awkward. I'm broken. People don't like me. And that narrative, it becomes your truth. So let's talk about what social anxiety actually is. It's not just fear. It's not just shyness. It's a kind of disconnection. A learned mistrust of spontaneity. A skill that rested from lack of use. Think about what happens in your body when you're anxious. Your heart races. Your palms sweat. Your thoughts spiral. These are survival responses. Your brain is treating social interaction like a threat. But why? Because somewhere along the way, being around others started to feel unsafe. Maybe you were judged once. Maybe you were rejected. Maybe you were misunderstood so many times you decided it was easier to not try at all. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened at all. Maybe you just gradually realized that solitude didn't hurt, but connection sometimes did. And your brain, being the pattern recognition machine that it is, learned people equals unpredictable, alone equals safe. So it started sounding the alarm every time someone got too close. But here's what your brain doesn't understand. Safety and comfort are not the same as growth and fulfillment. You can be safe and still be deeply, achingly lonely. You can be comfortable and still feel like something essential is missing. So maybe the question isn't why am I so scared of people? Maybe it's why do I feel safer without them? Because that's the heart of it, isn't it? Being around others means giving up control. You can't control what they think. You can't control if they'll understand you. You can't control if they'll like you, or hurt you, or disappoint you. You can only show up and be there. And that's terrifying. Because when you're truly with someone, not performing, not curating, not hiding behind a screen, you're vulnerable. You're real, you're visible. And visibility means you can be seen. Really seen. That includes the parts you like. Sure. But also the parts you'd rather keep hidden. The insecurities. The flaws. The weird quirks. The moments when you don't know what to say. To be with others is to surrender the illusion of control. And that's the thing about being human that we keep trying to escape. We cannot control how others perceive us. We can only exist. And hope that existence is enough. That's the risk. That's the vulnerability. And yes, that's absolutely terrifying. But it's also the only way we truly connect. So how do you get over social anxiety? Here's what won't work. Forcing yourself. You can't bully yourself into being social. You can't shame yourself out of anxiety. You can't logic your way out of a feeling that lives in your bones. Just put yourself out there is well-meaning advice. But it misses the point. Because if you're only doing it out of obligation, or because you think you should, you'll just be enduring it. White-knuckling your way through conversations. Counting down the minutes until you can leave. That's not connection. That's performance. And your nervous system knows the difference. So what does work? You have to find your own reasons to want it. Not someone else's reason. Not what society says you should want. Not because some articles told you humans are social creatures and you need connections to survive. Your reason. Maybe you are tired of being lonely. Maybe you missed the feeling of being understood. Maybe you want to share something with someone, a joke, an idea, a moment, and have them actually get it. Maybe you realize that all the content in the world can't replace the feeling of someone looking at you and seeing you. Not a profile, not a persona, but the real, messy, complicated person underneath. Maybe you are just sick of being afraid. Whatever that reason is, that's your spark. Because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. No one can give you motivation. Not a YouTube video. Not a self-help book. Not even a therapist. As helpful as they can be with tools and strategies, the desire to reconnect has to come from you. You have to want it more than you fear it. And when you find that reason, when you locate that quiet ache in your chest that says, I want to be part of the world again, that's when things start to shift. Not all at once. Not dramatically. But slowly, gently. So, social anxiety to be, or not to be. Maybe the real question is, do you want to stay hidden? Or do you want to exist in the world again? Do you want to keep building your fortress of solitude, where you're safe but separated? Or do you want to risk the messiness, the unpredictability, the beautiful chaos of beings with people? Neither answer is wrong. By the way, sometimes you need solitude. Sometimes the world is too much, and you need to retreat and tend to yourself. That's okay, that's human. But if you've been alone for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to be truly with someone, if you've been scrolling for so long that you've forgotten what it's like to have a real conversation, not just a performed one, if you've been hiding for so long that you've started to believe you have to, then maybe it's time to ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? And more importantly, what am I missing by staying here? Because here's the thing about social anxiety, about fear, about all the walls we build to protect ourselves. They keep the bad things out, but they also keep the good things out. They keep out judgment, but they also keep out understanding. They keep out rejection, but they also keep out belongings. They keep out the pain, but they also keep out joy. So here's the invitation. If you want it, you don't have to become an extrovert. You don't have to love parties or thrive in crowds. You don't have to change who you are. But maybe, just maybe, you can start small. One conversation, one coffee, one moment of letting someone in. Just a crack. Not because you have to, not because you should, but because somewhere deep down, beneath the anxiety and the fear and the years of isolation, you remember what it felt like to be with someone, to laugh without thinking, to talk without rehearsing, to be seen and to see someone else, and to feel that quiet electricity that says, "Oh, we are not so different after all." That feeling is still there, waiting. And the beautiful things, so are the people. Imperfect, messy, complicated people who are probably just as scared as you are, who are probably sitting in their own rooms, scrolling their own phones, wondering if anyone out there would understand them. You are not broken. You are not beyond repair. You are just out of practice. And like any skill, you can practice again, slowly, at your own pace, in your own way, not because anyone told you to, but because you decided you wanted to. The world is still here, and so are you. The only question is, will you let yourself back in?